Martin, you've mentioned that the United States can threaten Europe that if they continue with this policy, this absurd policy in Ukraine, the United States can leave NATO, just let them alone. What else can Washington do to put pressure on Europeans to force them into some sort of settlement in Ukraine? Because after all, we know how important Europe is for any settlement in Ukraine because they're part of the region. They're part of that, that and Russia wants somehow to make a deal, to have a security architecture with Europe.
The problem you have there is they have neocons. Kalis is she's a ruthless neocon. She's just Lindsey Graham and drag. That's about it. And she just came out and said for Russia to rejoin the group of 8, it requires a unanimous vote, and I will never give that. I mean, these people, look, I'll tell you what I told them in meetings in the Biden administration. You had Victoria Nuland, you had Blinken, and you had Garland. All 3 are neocons. All 3 claimed, look up their backgrounds. All 3 claimed that their families were from the Balkan area. All 3 claimed that their families were persecuted by Russians. Madeleine Albright, all right, another ruthless neocon. She's the one that got NATO to invade and bomb Serbia. Why? Because the Serbs were pro-Russian. She came from Czechoslovakia. Same thing, hated Russians. Read, Colin Powell's memoirs. He said, she completely disgusted him. She said, we have all these weapons. Why can't we just use them? These people, I don't know. What I told them is, this is what I said. I said, look, in my opinion, this is treason. All of these people that weasel their way into government positions are waging wars for personal vendetta reasons. It's like me becoming president and then sending them to go cut my grass at home. You can't do stuff like that. And this is all a personal vendetta. Kayla's in it's the same thing. Nothing different. I mean, she's the one that's even come out and said Russia's too big and should be broken up. What if Putin said that about Europe? We should conquer Europe and break it all apart. That would be, front page news. If it's okay for her to say that about Russia. John McCain. I mean, look, when I shook hands with John McCain, I felt I needed a shower. I mean, he was there in Maidan, and basically, this is all about you and only you. This is about peace, overthrow your government. And then what did they do? They stuck in an interim government and told them to attack the Donbass. This has never been about peace. And none of them give 2 shits, really, if one Ukrainian is still alive. This is what they were pulling off in Romania. And then the guy who was basically elected, it was like, he was really influenced by Russia, etc. Why? Why did they go through all this stuff? All right, the second election, Macron even went there to make sure the EU won. Why? Because NATO is building the biggest base to attack Russia in Romania. The Romanian people voted against this stuff because they know what's going on is that the EU could care less about Eastern Europeans. Send them in there, give them a gun, tell them to go kill some Russians. And what I've actually heard, very derogatory, who really cares? They all used to be communists anyhow. I mean, look, I was speaking to Romania and they were told to, from the EU, that they had accept 100,000 migrants from the Middle East. These people are deranged. They think they can bring these people in, hand them a gun, go kill some Russians. I've warned them. I said, the last time somebody tried this was the Roman Emperor, Valens, around 364. Attila the Hun was coming. He let the Goths in, trained them. Okay, thought he would build up his army against Attila the Hun. They said, thank you very much. They turned, attacked the Romans, and killed the emperor in battle. Yeah. All right. These, you're letting in all these people from the Middle East. They're not there to defend Europe against democracy and ideas. I mean, they're there for a free lunch. It's, I don't know. I mean, our computer shows nothing but rising civil unrest next year. And I've done my best, as you know. I mean, the computers.
Martin, how do you see the possibility of a conflict and escalation between Russia and Europe?
Oh, very high for next year, absolutely. But in reality, Europe will start it, not Russia. No matter what they claim, oh, Russia did this or Russia did that or whatever. And look, we had employees in Kiev and in Donetsk. All right. When Putin first went in, he went right up to Kiev and there was a whole column of tanks. And you can look it up. I was concerned. I said, look, I'll send in a private jet to get my staff out. And they said, not necessary. They're not doing anything. I said, what's going on? It's just for show. He had the tanks there to show that he could have taken Kiev, but didn't. And then pulled them back. All right. All this nonsense. Oh, Russia's weak. They haven't been able to take Ukraine. He never wanted to. He could have. All right. He called it a special operation. And that was simply to protect the Russians that are in the Donbass, period. All right. It's, even, the film they did on me on the forecaster, it appeared in Russia, and all the subtitles were done by the staff in Donetsk. They're Russians. They speak Russian. So, I've been in the middle of a lot of this stuff. So it's not speculation or theory or whatever. I mean, I've been there, done this, and know every which side from Sunday. So, but I think you will see the EU is getting desperate. I think they're going to create some sort of a false flag justification. And they're going to have to say that Russia did something, because in order to do this, it's called rally around the flag. And you can look it up. They know that if you say, okay, fine, sign up, join the army, where we want to go invade Russia, they're not going to get volunteers. You need to be able to say, Russia just attacked us, like Japan and Pearl Harbor. Then everybody volunteered. Okay, it's called rally around the flag. So that's the purpose of a false flag. And even Pearl Harbor, look it up. It was widely considered that, first of all, FDR deliberately froze all their Japanese assets in the United States, as we've done to Russia. And he then put an embargo. They were getting all their energy from the United States. When they said they were going to put in, get energy from somebody else, FDR said, we're going to put an embargo around Japan so you can't get energy from anybody else. He did everything possible, all right, to create war. And there was a Senate investigation on that because a few days before, he pulled all the strategic aircraft carriers out of Pearl Harbor. And then it came out, and you can look on our site, there was a leak. I published the newspaper in Honolulu Tribune a few days before said we're going to be attacked on the weekend. They knew. And the Senate investigation they had to do it because it came out that the U.S. had broken the Japanese code. Their conclusion was, well, we're not entirely sure that FDR really knew about that. Everybody else did, but not him. Come on. And he could not get the United States into war with Europe, period. Congress would never issue a declaration of war. So he needed the rally around the flag tactic. You have to be attacked. And this is why that Italian admiral just came out and said, we can do a preemptive strike against Russia for a hybrid attack. So I would be concerned, and they may do it as soon as January, February.